college, the idea of civil service was very far from my mind. When I got into the IAS, capital market was very far away from my ideas. And when I went on deputation to SEBI, the depositories didn't exist. Capital market was an entirely new area for me. And if you look at the secondary market, then even though there was the Securities Contract Regulation Act and so on, it was pretty much unregulated. So we were going from a situation of no holds barred market operations to a certain modicum of regulation, and we were calling it reform. So it was very interesting that reform of capital market, even though it's used as one term, in the case of secondary market it meant more regulation, in case of primary market it meant removal of controls. So I got to see the interaction of these processes, which was very interesting, and learn few things from that.
I think his transformation from a bureaucrat to a business manager can only be described as amazing. I know his vision was to set up a world-class depository so as to ensure that our capital market infrastructure matches the best in the world.
When I first met him in 1993, it was like he was from a different world. His ideas and his full sequence of what are the pieces, what is going wrong, and how can we design the securities markets in a different way was like this breath of fresh air, because I'd never heard any of those things before, and they were completely separate from what was going on in the country.
I think the real challenge was in convincing investors that this new system will benefit them, and that getting them to join the new system not as a matter of compulsion but as a matter of something that really benefits them.
I'm really amazed, that the depository started operating in November 96, and I think hardly about in 5 years the entire paper has disappeared from circulation, in the sense that all transactions today are paperless. And SEBI could think of moving first to T+5 and then later to T+3 and T+2. I don't think that without NSDL it would have been possible.
Tax information network system was a kind of a marriage between my experience during the civil service, that is working with the government, and my experience at NSDL, where one had to set up a huge computing infrastructure with connectivity all over the country.
My own interaction with him was in the high-powered committee which was set up by the RBI to implement the online tax accounting system, and there certain initiatives which he took, and the way he was able to convince different banks that NSDL as an organization would be able to take up their issues, would be able to sort out the technological issues which they faced. That I think helped a great deal in getting the online tax accounting system off the ground.
Having been in SEBI, having had the opportunity to set up NSDL and then the tax information network, one of the important things that one learns is that you can achieve very little unless you work as a team. And when you work as a team, there are a whole lot of different shades of opinion that you have to bring them to the table and get people to agree.
Tax information network, the idea came from him saying that if we are able to give a credit to an individual for various companies for shares they hold from a single point, why can these companies not effect credit in account for a TDS to deduct, and we create a ledger? And that's how the whole idea of TIN began. So he's able to really correlate what we are used very easily with different systems.
What we found was that when they partnered us in this tax information network, they brought to the table not just their technological expertise, but also the experience in handling different shareholder issues, different issues regarding credit of shares to taxpayer accounts, and they were very proactive.
Life is very uncertain, so I would like to take any opportunity that comes my way. Given a preference and given a choice, I would like to still continue to be in an area which is public service oriented.
It's only when you have known him for a decade that you start appreciating how much thought, how much care, how much wisdom goes behind every sentence, and that when a proposal is made, it is backed by an incredible execution capacity.
I think he's taking the same focus, determination and vision into tax administration, and I believe he will make a success out of it. It's my pleasure to have something to say about Chandu Bhave, and I wish him all the success.